Alright, see you, Kate. Have fun on the ferry.
I will.
Bye. What's happening?
We just had ice cream and it was good and it's very busy.
The town of Primiston.
Yeah. Somewhere under all the people is an old town.
Yeah, behind all the flashing lights and restaurants, there's a town here somewhere. And we're just heading up the river, about to head into the channel that takes us up towards the Krka, K-R-K-A river, up towards Schoemaker and onto Skradin to the national park and the waterfalls. And this is the old fort.
Brenton, are you having fun helming today?
Stressful.
Yeah?
Yeah. We've got a very tight channel with a million boats going both ways. Bridges, they're only just high enough on the mast. And then, to top it all off, bungee jumpers off the bridges when you're going past.
So did
say it's probably the worst place you could go bungee jumping. Let's face it. You know, you've got
Yeah,
boats
like,
going.
wait.
yeah, you just psych yourself up to jump and they're like, no, stop.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened as I was filming going under the bridge. You know, she was about to jump and he's trying to tell one of the boats to go to the side, and of course we can't go to the side because we're only just going to fit through the middle. You know, so can you imagine how stressful that would be for that person who's decided to jump off the bridge? I mean, seriously. But there you go.
Don't really want to jump at the wrong time and get caught in the rigging.
Exactly.
So we've got Donald out because of the sheer amount of boats going on in here. And the race is on. These boats have been trying to overtake us since the beginning of the river. There's about 6 of them. They're just really desperately want to get in front of us. And there they go, passing us on the port side. Brenton's making friends. He wants your fingers, he doesn't want the bread.
Okay, here we are in the river, feeding the swans.
And Brenton.
And feeding Brenton as well. And we're going to see a little bit of serious action going on here. Bit of competition.
So I've worked out that I'm pretty sure this is a male mute swan.
Yep.
Which is why he got really angry at Brenton for being in the water with his spicy pain.
With his cake.
With his cake.
Oi, watch it.
Go on, you can be a bit more man than that, Brenton.
Watch it.
Hang on, does this swan want some as well? Oh God.
Oh, I think he's accepted you. Oh no, he hasn't.
Watch it.
Look at his amazing. Careful. Brenton's freaking out.
From the water it's like huge. Oh my God. He's standing about 3 foot above the water here.
I managed to jag this side of the waterfall, and then as you go around there's just 100 people on the other side. This is ridiculous. This is actually a national park in Croatia. They kind of do it a little bit differently to what we see in Australia. They charge quite an exorbitant amount to actually get into the park, and then when you get in, it's souvenir shops, food stalls, gelati, and restaurants. And we are in the height of summer, but there is a billion people here. And it's actually, it's not even 10 o'clock, it's 9:30. Oh no, it's 10 o'clock, you're right, 10 o'clock. There's a ferry arriving every half an hour until 2 o'clock with probably a couple of hundred people on. We were told they're trying to sell 10,000 tickets today. It's unbelievable. Actually, we are very much contemplating getting the next ferry out of here at 10:30. So we got here very early. We got the first ferry in, but this is ridiculous. You can't even get across the bridge at the moment. There's actually a traffic jam on the bridge. We've taken one of the early boats out to avoid the crowds. 300 people came on this boat. Well, not the only people. There's actually about, I don't know, 10, 12 people on the boat who are also totally over the crowd and getting out of here. What do you think?
I think it's nice, but it is quite stressful for people and stuff.
We've just come back from the ferry and this is the lineup. We left at 8, but there is literally a lineup from the ferry now. All the way down the road for, I don't know, 200 metres. Look at our tender here, tucked in behind these guys. It's ridiculous. Glad we're back and out of here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually someone bungee jumping off the bridge we're about to go under. So are they going to pull him out, or are they going to drop him, or are we just going to collect him on our mast? Bloody hell. Recipe for disaster if they get this wrong.
How much for 1 kilo mussels?
It's 25 kuna 1 kilo.
25 kuna 1 kilo.
Yeah,
just one kilo?
Are they cleaned?
Yeah, clean.
Yeah, clean?
Yeah.
Ready for cooking.
We've just come to get fresh oysters delivered to the boat in the Skradinski River. Well, the Krka River, just past Skradin. Five Aussie bucks a kilo.
Excellent. 50 kuna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. See ya.
You got there, Brenton?
Mussels! I found mussels. Well, I've copied all the locals. All the locals are out looking for mussels. And I went and talked to one of them and he kind of said, gave me a few tips. Didn't tell me much. He said no deeper than 3 metres. I would have expected, I don't know why, deeper than that. And then I've been watching this guy here and he's just pulling them off. And unfortunately we've already bought 2 kilos of mussels today. Because there's a stack right here.
Not a bad catch for about 5 minutes, is it, hey?
No, there's heaps down there.
Good.
Alright, so now I need to learn how to clean the suckers. Kilos of fresh mussels.
So
back of the boat.
You actually went and caught those yourself?
They weren't running very quickly, but I did catch them very quickly.
You went out with your spear gun?
Speared everyone.
Yep.
So we've got nice spicy tomato broth.
And you said that because it's only you and me eating these tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Mainly.
So we've probably got a good kilo each.
So, and you said you were only going to come back with enough for you and I for tea.
Yeah, well, I got carried away. I got carried away because there's about 20 million mussels out there, and I just selected the best ones.
Okay. And what sort of, what are you actually going to do with them? Like as far as
spicy tomato, paprika, ginger. What else have we got in there? Cayenne pepper, normal pepper, white wine, basil, fresh basil, broth. About 5 to 7 minutes, starting to open up, and then we'll eat them straight out of the.
That's pretty good. We did have some last night, didn't we, to try it out?
Yeah.
About 2 kilos then, I think.
Yeah, about 2 kilos. Now we've got another fresh 2 kilos.
Wow.
Into the fortress.
We came up here this morning, first thing in the morning, to go to this fortress just across the bay. So it guards the entrance way to the Krka river, and we just climbed up on top here, and it's proper old school fortress, looking down the river that way, and then we'll be out to sea and out to the islands.
That's the sea on that side.
This says something, Sassange 1888. And this says something 18, I think it even says 82 or 22.
So, what do you reckon this rendered bit's about?
I reckon this is the World War II section, because they like to render things in World War II.
So I reckon this was all like the old stuff that we saw around the corner.
Yeah.
And they've like renovated it for the...
All like just concreted everything, and all the gun holes are a lot smaller.
Made for machine guns.
Made for machine guns.
What about this? Couple exchange photo sex. Mashton at Skynet.cr.
That's World War II graffiti.
Yeah, I reckon they're just big light holes. Try.
Get the scary pigeon noise. Stop now. This fortress is haunted by pigeons.
Scary, unfocused pigeon noise. I just realised all these bumps on the ground are actually the starts of static lights. And right at the top here, on the roof, stalactites, so the water's actually seeping through inside this fortress, and it started to create its own little cave system.
I hear it dripping as well.
We're on the bottom floor here. See if it'll focus outside. There it goes. Looking out on the other bay. So, we're about to run out of battery, but we just finished walking around. This is where we pulled in the tender. And it looks like is a project maybe Croatia's working on to rejuvenate, but glad it hasn't been done.
Awesome. Yeah, we think it's pretty awesome as it is.
What do you think?
I'm really glad that I've gone here without it being all done up. That's fantastic. It's awesome.
This is lucky man with no mistakes. He had white horses and ladies by the score. Oh, check it out. Dry stone wall. Bloody everywhere. That was a real treat.
You will see in the distance 2 bobbing hats. A rare and beautiful sight in the Dalmatian Islands in Croatia. These are so rare they've migrated all the way from Australia. And here we see them flocking back towards the mothership. They're quite slow, but that's because they work extremely hard to keep their heads out of the water so they don't lose their hats or sunglasses. Well, look at this, they're getting closer. Australianus bobbing hatting us. A pair. I think there's a male and a female. Yes, you can tell. One's wearing a cap and one's wearing a floppy sailing hat. Australianus bobbing hatting us. Beautiful. They're going to come all the way up to the boat and they'll probably try and board. If we're lucky. Maybe they'll want a cup of tea.
You can hear the dulcet tones of the bobbing hattiers. As they come towards the boat, they can smell the scones that we've prepared. The female boards the boat first. The male boards second, once he knows the coast is clear.
Well, if there's any geologists watching this, you'll get a bit of a look at some of these rock formations. Very nice. This is just the river cut edge from Šibenik up to Skradin. Mussel farms everywhere. Gonna get some mussels. Forget about the geology, I'm gonna go get some mussels.